Coronation Street's Cassie Plummer finally shared her dark secret tonight, ahead of her exit from the soap. After being blackmailed by Ross Wilkes, Cassie admitted that their son Tyrone Dobbs was conceived while she was forced into sex work. In tonight's episode, nasty newcomer Ross received a grilling from his recent flame Tracy Barlow, who was irritated that he had bought flowers for someone else. After confronting him in the cafe, Ross explained that Cassie had set him up and the flowers were for his daughter-in-law Fizz Dobbs. Tracy was pacified by the explanation, but Ross decided he wanted to end their little fling to focus on building a relationship with Tyrone. The furious florist ruined his breakfast and stormed out. Later, Ross called in at number 9 and told Cassie he knew about her winding up Tracy. He warned her to stay out of his business and she told him to leave Weatherfield. Their spat was interrupted by Tyrone, who said he was fed up of them bickering. In a surprise turn of events, he instructed Cassie to leave, claiming she was making it difficult for him to get to know his dad. At the Rovers, Tyrone apologized for throwing Cassie out, but her disdain for Ross caused even more friction between the pair. Her boyfriend Steve McDonald tried to explain Tyrone's mindset, saying he had a small point. "I mean, look, it was a one-night stand decades ago. We've all been there." "I know I have," he reasoned. "And look, Ty came out of it, so it's not all that bad." In that moment, Cassie decided to tell Steve the full truth about how Tyrone was conceived, admitting Ross paid her for sex all those years ago. "He was mates with this fella I was seeing who pimped me out," Cassie explained. "Tyrone knows a bit about my history, but not that he was conceived at that point in my life," she continued, saying she had worked so hard to get respect from her son and was scared of losing it if he ever found out. She told a shocked Steve that she had reached a stalemate with Ross as he has been blackmailing her to gain access to Tyrone. What will Steve do with this information, and could this result in a huge showdown between him and Ross? Just when Coronation Street fans thought they had Cassie Plummer figured out, the Cobbles deliver another emotional twist that changes everything. After weeks of mystery, suspicion, and unanswered questions, Cassie finally opens up about the secrets she's been hiding, placing Ross at the center of a storyline that promises to have lasting consequences for everyone involved. For a long time, Cassie has been carrying an emotional burden that few people truly understood. While she often masks her pain with sarcasm and stubbornness, it's becoming increasingly clear that her latest decisions haven't been random. Every awkward conversation, every moment of hesitation, and every unexpected reaction has been leading toward one explosive confession. As Ross becomes more involved in her life, he starts noticing cracks in the story Cassie has been telling everyone. Small details don't quite add up, and the more he pushes for answers, the harder it becomes for Cassie to keep the truth locked away. Eventually, the pressure becomes impossible to ignore. In a dramatic and heartfelt confrontation, Cassie finally admits that she's been hiding far more than anyone ever imagined. Her confession isn't simply about one mistake. It reveals years of regret, fear, and emotional scars that have shaped every decision she's made. The revelation immediately changes Ross's perspective. Instead of seeing Cassie as someone making reckless choices, Ross begins to understand the emotional trauma behind her actions. While he struggles to process everything he's just learned, he also realizes how difficult it must have been for Cassie to carry these secrets alone. However, understanding doesn't automatically mean forgiveness. Ross is left wondering whether Cassie should have trusted him sooner. The delayed honesty raises difficult questions about loyalty, relationships, and whether some secrets become even more damaging the longer they're hidden. Meanwhile, the confession sends shockwaves across Weatherfield. Word begins spreading that Cassie has finally revealed the truth, and reactions differ dramatically. Some residents sympathize with her, believing she deserves a fresh start after everything she's endured. Others aren't so convinced. They argue that honesty should have come much earlier, and that several people have already been hurt by the lies. The divide creates fresh tension among families and friends. Characters who once defended Cassie now begin questioning everything they believed. Every previous conversation suddenly carries a different meaning, while past events are viewed through an entirely new lens. One of the most emotional aspects of the storyline is seeing Cassie confront her own guilt. Rather than making excuses, she accepts responsibility for the pain her silence has caused. It's a rare moment of vulnerability from a character who usually refuses to show weakness. That honesty could mark a major turning point. Instead of running from her problems, Cassie appears determined to face the consequences head-on. Whether that means repairing broken relationships or accepting that some people may never forgive her, she's finally choosing truth over deception. Ross also finds himself facing an impossible decision. Should he stand beside Cassie now that he knows the full story? Or has the betrayal damaged their trust beyond repair? His choice won't only affect their future, it could influence several other relationships within the community. Friends and family quickly begin offering advice, but every opinion only makes Ross's situation more complicated. Some insist everyone deserves a second chance. Others warn that once trust is broken, rebuilding it can take years. As emotions continue running high, viewers can expect several powerful conversations that explore themes of forgiveness, redemption, and personal growth. Rather than relying solely on dramatic confrontations, the storyline focuses on the emotional impact of finally telling the truth. That's what makes this plot particularly compelling. Cassie's confession isn't about creating shock value alone. It's about showing how hidden pain can influence every aspect of a person's life and how difficult it can be to admit mistakes after living with them for so long. The writers also leave several intriguing questions unanswered. Will Ross keep Cassie's confidence, or will circumstances force him to reveal even more information? Could someone else already know parts of the truth? And are there still hidden details that Cassie hasn't admitted? These lingering mysteries ensure the drama is far from over. There is also the possibility that Cassie's honesty could inspire others to confront their own secrets. Coronation Street has often shown how one confession can trigger a chain reaction throughout Weatherfield, and this storyline appears ready to continue that tradition. Fans have already begun speculating about where the story could lead next. Some believe Cassie and Ross will eventually rebuild their relationship through honesty and understanding. Others predict fresh betrayals, unexpected alliances, and new enemies emerging as more information comes to light. Whatever happens, one thing seems certain: Cassie's emotional confession represents one of the biggest turning points in her recent journey. Instead of hiding behind excuses, she's finally allowing herself to be vulnerable, accepting both the risks and the consequences that come with telling the truth. For Ross, the revelation changes everything. His opinion of Cassie, his future decisions, and even his place within Weatherfield are now influenced by the secrets she's finally revealed. Every conversation moving forward carries greater emotional weight because both characters now understand that honesty can be painful, but silence can be even more destructive. As this gripping Coronation Street storyline continues, viewers should prepare for more emotional confrontations, surprising twists, and difficult choices. Cassie's confession may have answered some long-standing questions, but it has also opened the door to countless new possibilities. Will the truth finally set Cassie free? Can Ross find a way to forgive the woman who kept so much hidden? Or is this only the beginning of an even bigger mystery waiting to shake the cobbles once again? One thing is certain: Weatherfield will never be quite the same after Cassie finally shares her full secrets, and fans won't want to miss a single dramatic moment as this unforgettable story unfolds. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Coronation Street Scoop News Update.